What were you known for in middle school? There was a kid in the 10th grade that hid in the hallway between classes. Last year I was the pencil guy. I always wore a coat with a ton of pencils in the inside pockets and I kept them sharpened. Once I let someone count them cause they were curious and it was around 200 I think. Drawing. If you draw half decent everyone will ask you design their stupid tattoo ideas or anime crushes for a few bucks. In middle school I was the guy that combed my hair before after every class. I now have no hair. Starting a parody Twitter account of the principal. It was pretty cool hearing people reading my tweets in class and no one knowing it was me. Lol. Got exposed later though. Principal thought it was hilarious. In the 7th grade I came from a school on the other side of town so nobody knew me. I faked a British accent for a whole year. Then 8th grade started and I forgot I did that and just talked normal and everyone was very confused. I was the kid that could get into bars. My older brother was in a band and I would go with them to help set up gear before a show. As a roadie, most bars let me hang outside stage to watch and then tear down at the end of the night. So I was the 15-year-old going to bars each weekend. My parents and even the teachers knew. But I wasn't drinking so it wasn't a big deal. But the other kids though it was nuts and always wanted me to sneak them in too. Me and the boys used to crack open a can of cold beans at lunch and chug our way through it. I was the sticker kid. Had a briefcase of stickers. If you needed a special kind I had it. I even knew how to make them. Middle school. Being that big city kid who has nothing in common with the local small town boys. High school. Being that small town boy who has nothing in common with the big city kids. My parents moved around for work. And I never fit in during school. Now I'm the other country man who has nothing in common with the local people. For 3157th time. I'm not going to get your Doctor Who, Red Dwarf, Mrs. Brown, or Keeping Up Appearances references. Those shows mean nothing to me. Sleeping through every single one of my classes. Update. Thanks everyone for the upvotes. Most I've ever had. No matter what life throws you, it's never too late to change your direction. Keep your heads up you sleepy people. In middle school there was a rumor going around that I stalked a girl. She was a friend of mine. Keyword being was since she was the one that started the rumor. Which was bullet by the way. So that was fun and definitely didn't make my already low self-esteem that much worse. Or cause any social anxiety in me. Yes. In high school I was known for a few things. I was the big white kid with crazy hair. I did a lot of the school plays. I was friends with a few popular kids and thus I was second-hand popular. Not popular enough to be invited to parties or anything. But enough that more people knew who I was than I knew who they were. I became known as a math god after I used math equations to draw the logo of the Desmos online graphing calculator within the Desmos online graphing calculator. Being quiet. Not school shooter type of quiet. Just quiet. I was an NPC. We can't all be known. My ex-boyfriend and I broke up on a Monday. And he started dating a frumpy freshman the very next day. They both tried rubbing it in my face lol but I didn't care and took the high road. That Friday I had a bonfire with my friends to burn his it he refused to take back. While I was burning the last bit of stuff one of my field hockey teammates called me and told me the frumpy freshman got ran over by a car while making out with my ex. Anyway, that's how I acquired the name Osivadu Queen. X also tried to get back with me numerous times after that since his new girlfriend was wheelchair bound and he didn't wanna deal with it. He was and still is a piece of it. In 8th grade there is a page in the yearbook for certain things like most likely to become president or most likely to win an Olympic medal. And the two people that are voted for the most are pictured in the yearbook under that phrase. I got voted for best sneeze with another girl at my school. As we both have incredibly high-pitched sneezes. To this day people still bring it up. Even years later. Painting the photography backdrop for the Italian dinner fundraiser. It was the highlight of the evening and I even got an offer from one of the guests to buy it for $1,000. The odd one that always makes too many jokes references. Being antisocial and overweight. Not me but there was a kid in the 8th grade that was known for beating up a mentally retarded kid. I played Universe Sandbox and I told my friend I just became God. Hence my nickname is God. PS my science club once had a seminar at another HS. We went there along with other science clubs from other HSs. There was a minigame. We won and they reward us with peanuts bought from supermarket. After the seminar we went to the basketball court and former selves to praise me and my peanut on the middle of the court circle. Did, and do, have a sharp as hell tongue. I was kinda known as the kid who spat fire. I used to be able to rap decently too. Now I can't rap for it. Mix of the smart one who gets asked for help on homework. Tests literally anything, also zoning out and drawing, also the super happy one though I'm actually depressed. I was known for 2 things in high school. 1. I was the girl in the wheelchair. No one else in my school had a severe physical disability. 2. I was the girl who almost ran over the principal. Being zoned out and drawing. The quiet, nice smart person, and a target for bullying. Pushing the wheelchair guy down the stairs. The rocker, the guy with the hair who played guitar. Being the best at mathematics and the student that never skips a day of school. The weirdo. Later the weirdo that cries all the time and has cuts on her arms. Had a fast loud car and always dress up for every event sporting game we went to. Everyone knew who I was and my sisters constantly got the A666 Booser is your brother? You guys are so lucky. They were not lucky. I was an idiot. I'm that one person that everyone knows is really smart. Even people that I don't talk to know this and it's a little odd. Publicly, the kid who skipped a ton of school. I had roughly 50% attendance grade 9-11. Cumulatively. Privately, I have a feeling I was the suspected school shooter. Outwardly I fit the stereotype, terrible hygiene, oblivious to social norms, immersion in Chan culture, heavy drug use, thin as a rail, selling gum, and being a mix of a jock nerd, and teaching a yoga class as a joke. Middle school, nerd on the books. High school, sports. Walking out of class to go to an empty classroom to watch Tom and Jerry, teaching kids how to remote shut down other kids' PCs to totally wreck a business class. Snatching CDRS from school so my friends could resell them. Being asked to recite poetry but instead going with head and shoulders, knees and toes with extreme gravitas. Convincing an entire row of people to use parts of Wonderwall as their senior quotes. Making mixed CDs. Being a real pain in the ass that English teachers tried desperately to reach. Reaching class early for the sole purpose of drawing stupid lit on overhead projector transparencies. A lightsaber duel in the hallway. All of the detentions. The only people getting more detentions than me were the actual criminals. The can't get along with anyone quiet kind of kid that likes weird it. Giggles. I laughed a lot in acting techniques. Even at the darkest of things. Being the really smart one. I was just a little better than average. I don't know how it got spread around, but it did. Still in high school, last year I became the smart kid in geometry just because I would finish tests in 5 minutes and get an A on almost all of them. Which I didn't get because geometry is just simple math mushed together with shapes. Clasher is what they called me when I was in 8th grade. I was the top cock player in my school, reaching Champions League at Fate. This was in 2015. Good old days. In middle school I was the girl who would have mental breakdowns once a week, and now, in high school, I'm just known as the girl that talks about animals. Let's just say, I put the high in high school. That one goth kid in the Catholic high school somewhere in middle America. Oh, and I had my tongue pierced. So risque registered sign for mid-90s in flyover country. Showing my pallid ass to the entire school. The guy who jerk off on the sink. Class clown for sure. Also looking like Jesus. I was the best goddamn high school age drummer in all of rural Annie, Oregon from 1989 to 1991. I would straight up legit battle drummers and other pep bands and whoop their asses no matter who they were. I actually got a music scholarship and got my first year of college comped for my drum skills. I made a cringy YouTube video and I never heard the end of it until I pitched a stop sign at a kid. That was something I was able to laugh with instead of be laughed at for though. present tense because I'm a senior RN. But the color purple. Definitely forgetting at least a few things. But I own a purple jean jacket, 2 pairs of purple jeans, and 1 pair of purple jorts, a purple denim work shirt, a vintage Adidas purple track jacket, 5 pairs of purple sneakers, and 1 pair of purple boots, a pair of purple dress slacks and a purple silk button down, a purple Supreme headband, a purple duffel bag, and a purple ballpoint pen. My room is also painted purple, which I've gotten a lot of mileage out of in this era of Zoom classes, and I'm typing this from my purple velvet desk chair. I would dye my hair purple, but I go to Catholic school and dyeing your hair fashion colors is against the dress code, which they somehow justify fully enforcing even when we're not going to school in person. This one kid dyed his shock white last year and there was a huge snafu over whether it should be allowed. Because there's not a rule against Ossifer exemplius Somian with brown hair dyeing, there's blonde. Depends on who you asked. To younger grades, I was someone safe who you could talk to and play cardboard games with. Kind of like a substitute older brother. To my grade, someone loud and wild. Also really intense when it came to school competitions. To higher grades, someone who could be trusted to do something if you needed. And super loyal AF to friends. Think of a person who had your back if I respected you. Oh, that's one of the twins. No one ever remembered our names. Not me, but a friend of mine. This dude's jacket had a hole on the inside. Big enough to stuff it. But no hole on the underpart of the jacket. Nothing can fall down. So he started using it as an inventory pack. So during class, his bag is on the ground. But he kept spawning snacks, drinks, you name it. Out of nowhere. Me and other friends were completely confused where it came from, and it also didn't help his jacket was clean black. We tried copying a feel of the jacket and we did feel all the snacks, drinks and whatnot, but it was really hard for us to notice where the hole was. I mean, there had be a hole. Since then, dude's been known as the jacket of infinity guy. Having giant gazogongodoinkad and Jerlarus. Being the biggest dumbus. I would try hitting on girls with itty pickup lines. Since I didn't know how to make the first move, ask her out. Still don't know BTW. However, since these girls were popular and our school was small, everyone knew. Living journal. Being the quiet and observant kid. Some girls vent to me, sharing secrets and I have vital information of someone's private life. I know some it only I know, and I'm gonna keep it that way. Carrying Kirby squishy stress ball things. Being able to down 15 plus small cartons of milk. Keeping a low profile, under the radar, and patiently waiting to graduate. That tiny Chinese girl with a huge pink backpack. People outside of my class referred to me as that because, well, the description probably speaks for itself. It wasn't me, but a kid in 6th grade swallowed a coin. I can't remember if it was a penny or a nickel, but he swallowed one. Being top of the class and being the fastest swimmer in the school up to 11th grade. Being a ducking nerd and reading a lot. I was spending just about all my time in the library and also rare classic literature years before we had to in class. Definitely drawing. Always get that reputation. The ugly girl that became a cheerleader. Turned up on my first day of secondary school wearing a long Matrix style leather trench coat, trousers too short so showing a significant amount of sock and ankle, with a bad home cut fringe. My mum made me take a flask of soup for my lunch instead of having normal dinners like everybody else. Was dropped off and picked up from school every day in my mum's vehicle, which was a retired John's ambulance, 16-seater van with a lift at the back that had rainbows and smiley faces painted on it. Told everyone I was a gyppie, a made up combination of goth and hippie. Did not have a particularly fun time for the first few years. I was an oddball. I was known for being an oddball. I got full blown pantsed, like shorts and underwear, in the middle of the quad during lunch in high school. So basically in front of the entire school. And that's when everyone learned that the quiet, awkward shy guy was packing some serious meat. Being a teen in the 1990s was interesting when you're in a small redneck mountain town, especially when you're an Inuit that's not even from there. I was, and still am, a pretty big Korn fan. I rock the head hair, The kind that was braided in small braids when I had my hair long. When it was short, I rocked the 1998 Chino Merino of Deftones look. The slick gel spikes, of course. Had to have the JNCO jeans to match the look. I'm also small part Scottish and Irish. So of course to freak everyone out I wore a kilt. Not traditional at school. My friends and I were the Motley Crue clique. Some were nerds. Some were metalheads. Some were jugglers. But accepted anyone who was different. We made the losers cool and confident. I'm fairly certain we stopped some of peers from killing themselves just by giving them a place to sit and hang at lunch. Some of the younger ones were sad when we graduated, but they still continued the tradition of accepting others without judgment. I wonder what the young ones are doing now that everyone grew up. I know what my close friends do, but the ones 2 years younger I wonder. Some don't use social media that I know of. My uncle being the owner of a one-of-a-kind Mexican restaurant. In high school I jumped in the trash can multiple times for no reason until this day people even bring it up 5 years after. Long sigh. I was stuck with the nickname Minty Fresh. I joined the seniors in the final year and won them a few tournaments. They have my pic with the trophy in the school hallway. I'm pretty shy and I really don't like the picture being there, but my friends said it was a nice thing so I'll let it be. BTW, I won a tug of war. I did a 1v8 guys at the end. And I helped in basketball. Scored 3 shots. 1 in javelin throw. I didn't play football though cause I could only participate in 3 sports. BTW, this was during the sports week. It was fun for me cause I got to meet so many people. BTW, I'm not sure about high school middle school, but I was 14 at the time and in the first year of O levels. Hope that helps. Asoyo. I was known for being quiet and antisocial. Being stoic. Deep voice. Having a beard since the beginning of the 10th grade. For being the tallest of all the students. Sucks that in most of India being 6 feet 3 inches would make you the tallest in that area. Never giving a shit and leaving all the time. I don't say that proudly. The cripple with a sick sense of humor. The guy who never cut classes. Remembering more than 100 digits of pi. Don't ask. I can't remember them. I was known for sleeping in all my classes and getting good grades. My writing. I have won a few national writing competitions back then and even wrote some poetry to our school newspaper. I even planned to publish a book. It had been before my graduation exams. Matura wore me out so much that I cannot bring myself to write a single page. Yeah, I know that one slightly odd guy creeping around in the corner with some weed. Well, that was one of my friends. Yeah, I know the people who hang around the bathroom being dumb. Those were my friends. I was the guy with weird friends and who couldn't spell the word friend. Wearing a ninja costume during all spirit weeks in senior year. Also for dancing every week during lunch. For being quiet and sporty. Drinking, writing, fighting, and driving too fast. I caught a gun charge 6 days into freshman year and first period on the first Monday back. Cops ran into the building and pulled me out of class. After that day everybody knew me as young Columbine. That year I was suspended for 140 days and my high school experience for the next half a year every day I was getting into a fight because somebody would make a comment or try to duck with me and I would defend myself. About 3 months into sophomore year I dropped out. I was told I could either leave or they were going to kick me out and I dropped out. I basically lived up to this persona that all the kids and teachers made for me and people stopped ducking with me a little bit. Were also the times I got in it for selling sugar in the bathrooms. Not wearing makeup and being a hippie. Like honestly, every girl was wearing makeup then except I. And I wore tie-dye a lot and made my own bell bottoms which I embroidered with Beatles related stuff.